So you're an introvert and are currently looking for a job or maybe a new career path. And you're probably wondering, what kind of job would fit me the best? Let's find out. Dear fellow citizens of the world, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick. I'm a career coach, communication trainer, and today I want to share 5 jobs that my introverted clients do and actually could be a good option for you. So why are we talking about careers specifically for introverts? Well, introversion is a personality trait that has its own strengths and own weaknesses. And when you know what strengths and what weaknesses you have, it's easier to find jobs that are most suited towards your personality. And you want to find a job that's going to favor your strength and make you shine the most. Because some jobs appear very appealing in the beginning. They look very shiny either because of money, of perks, of working conditions. But if they are not suitable for your personality, you're going to encounter a lot of frustration and a lot of false expectations in the long run. So it's better to know exactly right from the start what you try to get yourself into. Obviously, if you want to feel happy, if you want to be productive, and if you want to find fulfillment in your career, you need to find the correct path and the right job for yourself. Now, a disclaimer. Obviously, introverts and extroverts can do anything they want, any type of jobs they want. It's just a matter of knowing what you get yourself into by understanding where you might really struggle due to the fact that your personality might not match the requirements of the career you're trying to get into. And for example, if you're an introvert, you can do sales. There's no limit for that. Just know that it's going to be a pretty rough ride because sales involve a lot of social interactions with your clients, and introverts usually are not really comfortable with too many social interactions. So what do introverts look for in a job? I made a video about the differences between introverts and extroverts at work. So let's summarize quickly what works best for introverts at work. Introverts love and need quiet spaces. So usually the open space that we knew before the pandemic was something pretty excruciating for most introverts. Working from home works very well for introverts because they can dedicate their own space to their work without being distracted either by noises or events or people. Quiet environment works best. Introverts like to be independent, and obviously working alone is one aspect of it. Team meetings are just a killer for introverts because team meetings drain a lot of energy from introverts. And so the more they interact socially during their work day, the more difficult it is. And that's the reason why I love to work by myself in my home study, because I don't need to interact too much. Zoom meetings might be crazy these days, but remember, introverts work best when they are alone and independent. One thing to keep in mind is introverts love and thrive in one-on-one interactions, which means that public speaking is pretty difficult for introverts. One-on-one allows more connection. It's deeper, more meaningful conversation with that person. And therefore, one-on-one is really favored by introverts. So try to find a job that allows for a lot of one-on-one conversations and interactions. Multitasking, not for introverts. One task at a time. Why? Because we as introverts focus real long and hard on one task at a time. And that's why sometimes it feels like we are completely cut off from the rest of the world because we are so absorbed in what we do that it's hard to be distracted again and try to be multitasking, one task at a time. So from my experience working with my clients, I see 5 jobs, career paths that could be suitable for you. The first one is accountants. And I know about accounting because my first job was accounting. So accountants, what do? We as accountants try to give a picture of the financial situation of a company at any given time, which means we keep track of accounts, we keep track of expenses, revenue. We try to see where the company stands today. And we understand what happened in the past and we are budgeting for the future. So essentially, it's giving a timeline of what the company does on a daily basis. For this, of course, you need to investigate and report a lot of numbers, which means a lot of databases. And that's some environment where introverts can thrive because they can focus on one task long and hard, try to be very thorough and accurate. And that's one strength of introverts. So accounting works pretty well. Now, remember though, in accounting, you need to communicate those findings, those results, those databases to other people. So that also involves communicating with other people and not only being behind an Excel spreadsheet. Another job is technical writer. So imagine you just bought yourself a new camera, a new electronic toy, and you want to know how it works. I know we would usually go to YouTube these days, but remember before that, or maybe still right now, you have a user manual. And even then, you will find a user manual online. The user manual is basically what a technical writer did. He used all the technical data, technical information, the specifics of that camera, of that cell phone, and he tried to make it digestible for you. So technical writers, what they do, they handle a lot of technical information. They do some research. They try to see where and how they could communicate this message to people like us who don't quite fully understand all the technicalities of things. So it's all about using this huge amount of technical information and make it easy to understand for other people. Now, it happens that technical writers might need to fish for information with other people. And in this case, again, it involves interaction. But most of the time, that will be a job where you can be in your own environment, you can be in your own place and do your thing, because information is readily available in many databases or resources like internet or your internal company system. Now, the third job is software engineer. One of my clients was a software engineer and he worked for an online bank I was actually using. And so I could see daily what he was working on, because I would report the things that didn't work out very well on the app for that online bank. And I would kind of communicate my complaints to him. So basically, a software engineer works behind the scene. And the term behind the scene is great for introverts, because we don't really enjoy the spotlight. We like to be in our own space and focus on our responsibilities, on our tasks. So software engineers essentially improve system quality. And they do that by trying to find what kind of flaws or errors happen and they try to correct them. So obviously, it's almost like living in your own world. When we talk about IT people, we have this image of a nerdy person who lives in a dark room and always looking at the computer and typing like crazy. Well, not far from the truth, but it really gives you the opportunity to be in your own space and dedicating your time to one task and trying to make it as good as possible. This is what software engineers do. Now, the reason my client asked for my help, though, it's because he had to communicate his findings, the advancement of a project each week. And that's when he had to communicate those findings to other people in the company. So again, one job that is very well suited for introverts, but you always have a factor where you need to communicate your findings, your results to other people. Now, the fourth job that you might consider, think about a beautiful monument in your country or somewhere you visited before. We're talking about architects. Architects really have a vision. They have a picture in their mind and they want to make it come true. So they want to design, they want to draw, they want to perfect everything that they have in their mind, try to make it come to life. That's what architects do. And this is really well suited for introverts because, again, you're in your own space, you have your vision and you work towards your vision. So you draw, you correct, you design, you want to make something come to life. And this is very well suited. Again, though, once you have this idea on paper, once you have your vision clearly established, the thing is you're going to have to contact people. You're going to have to sell them your idea. And you're going to have to convince them that they should invest money and make your idea come true. Most of this job is well suited for introverts. But again, there's always one stretch at the end where you need to be a bit more extroverted. And now the fifth job that is pretty well suited for introverts is data analyst. And these days, data analyst positions are really, really everywhere. Some of my clients are. And what a data analyst does is essentially they look for a lot of information. Again, fishing for information, going through information, trying to understand how to make it resonating with other people. Essentially, the key decision makers in the company want to understand, for example, a lot of information collected during surveys. Your brand, you do surveys with a potential or actual customers, and you want to understand what are their tastes like, what are their visions, what are their perceptions of the brand. But this huge amount of information needs to be sorted out. And data analysts pick all this data, take it, do some magic with it, and make it, again, digestible and easy to understand for other people in the company. And essentially what we're looking for here is trying to find an angle on data that other people might not see. So again, all your skills of internalizing data information, being insightful about it, and try to communicate it as best as possible is what a data analyst does. So those were the 5 career paths that works very well for introverts. And I know that because when my introvert clients came to me, I could see they were in their zone of genius and they were actually thriving in their careers. Of course, they had something that needed to improve in their career path, but most of the job was well suited for them, either because of the environment or because of the responsibilities. But most of the job description was really matching their personality. However, you need to remember that as close as you can get for a job to match your personality, there will always be one side of it that you probably won't enjoy so much. Nothing is 100% ideal. You cannot find the perfect career, the dream job. This is not realistic. There's got to be parts of the job that you're not going to enjoy specifically. If we summarize those 5 jobs, it's really about working alone, focusing on the task, making your vision come to life. But at the end of the process, all the efforts you put, all the energy and focus you put in it needs to be condensed and needs to be communicated to the outside world. And usually this is where introverts have a bit of an issue, is to be able not only to promote their work, promote themselves, also to communicate the ideas simply, clearly, and effectively, and eventually be comfortable with the whole process from A to Z. So as an introvert, have you ever thought about the 5 positions that we talk about today? Or are you currently doing one of these jobs? If you're doing another job that is well suited to your introvert personality, I would love to know. So please feel free to drop a comment or send me a personal message and share your insights, share your tips on how you manage your career as an introvert in that specific job. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you don't want to miss 2 new videos each week where we talk about career, mindset, and personal growth, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Thanks a lot for watching. And remember, experience, experiment, enjoy the journey. See you on the next video.